I'm just a bit tipsy, so I can't form a whole video, so I gotta respond as I see it. I think you're complicating things. This is strictly my point of view, but an atheist has a closed mind. Bang. There is no God. There can be no God. Period. Case closed. End of discussion. Move along. An agnostic says, I don't know. I'm not saying there is no God, but I haven't seen anything to make me believe that there is a God, whether it's evidence or a subjective experience. So, it's looking like you're looking to complicate things. Always boil things down to their bare bones. That's the easiest way to do it. Get past all the flummery. An atheist has a closed mind. There is no God, period. Case closed, end of discussion, move along. An agnostic says, I don't know. Back to your video. What is God? It is a difficult question to answer. Probably one deserving of my completely sober cognitive abilities, but you don't get that tonight. What is God? God is a creator. If I had this is text, I would go S/HE. Shahi creates. You have to ask why Supreme Being, I prefer that term as opposed to God, created. That's what it comes down to. Why did the Supreme Being, or the Superior Being, because there might be more than one. After all, the Bible says, thou shalt have no other gods before me, for I am a jealous God. If there's nobody else on his or her level, what's there to be jealous of? Maybe you should explore the Kabbalah with the 9 spheres of influence and all that. I studied that for a little bit, but didn't go too deeply into it for my own reasons. But God is the Supreme Being is a creator. I'm tired. But that's what Shahi is. You have to ask the question, why did God create? Back to your video. Well, having just finished watching your video, let me clear something up right now. I'm a pagan. I'm not Christian or any of the other mainstream religions. But I believe there's a Supreme Being. Just not the Christian one. the being I worship is not omnipotent and not omniscient. So no, he couldn't create a rock they couldn't move, which is really a really lame example of why God can't exist. It really is. It's an oxymoron. Belongs right up there with jumbo shrimp and military intelligence. But neither here nor there. From my view, agnostics say, I don't know. I can't definitively prove it, one way or the other, but I haven't had a subjective experience that makes me want to believe. And that's what it comes down to. And I'm going to hawk back to Richard Dawkins with his interview on God delusion. And you can find that here on YouTube, an interview with Richard Dawkins about his book. And he says he can't prove definitively that God doesn't exist. As a scientist, he cannot disprove it 100%. Saying it might be possible. And he is frequently cited by atheists as to the right and proper way for rational thinking. Problem is, with you atheists, you think only about rational thinking. Rational thinking is all well and good. Vulcans do it well. Humans do not. Humans get involved with little things like emotions, which can cloud rational thinking. One of the things that Star Trek did fairly well at explaining. So, I don't know where to go from here with this one. I think I'm pretty clear on what I'm saying. Yes, I personally believe in a supreme being, a superior being. Whether that's an alien or not, I don't know. You could try reading a series of books by David Brin. I believe that's the author. Having to do with the uplift wars. It's very interesting, which brings into account a religious fervor for a superior being, yet also caters to scientific reasoning as to how species are created. It's a very interesting book, or set of books. And it's science fiction, but it has some interesting philosophical twists if you care to look for them. So, the Uplift Wars. Look for it. David Brin. I'm a huge fan of his. So, maybe I'll do a whole video on David Brin and his books. I saved all of them out of my 4,000 book collection, which are currently in storage. Now 4,000 books, the books I saved. Because Brin is worth saving. He's on the same par as Larry Niven and Robert Heinlein and Asimov, in my not very humble opinion. Oh well. We'll see how this flies. Probably goes flatter than a potato pancake, but hey. This is my life, and I'm going to open my mouth whenever it pleases me. Have an adequate night.